Oh my goodness.
Get your shit
What's up,
together.
people? What's going on, everybody? We're hanging out with good buddy April Reyna. She happens to be the color manager and manager for Ethereal After Dark. We're super excited to be chilling with her. Um, Pro Artiste doing some fun shenanigans tonight. Underland is live right now, and I'm unbelievably excited. Are you excited, madam? I'm excited.
I'm a little excited. I'm just embarrassed because I didn't realize you were live.
That's okay. We're gonna let you slide. That's 7 o'clock. We're live on the dot.
Oh,
Campaign's
yeah.
going. We're hanging out. I think Blade and Hunter's gonna step in here in a little bit when he gets a moment. Um, but we're talking Underland, and it's funny because a lot of people ask about this particular project. What's going on, Eastland? The link is actually in the bottom. If you guys don't have it, snag it right there, and you can go peep the campaign, like I mentioned, which is live. Um, and it is Blade and Hunter. Um,
So, what
so
are some of the more common questions that they've asked about this?
a couple of them have been like, what makes the book different?
Ah, that's
And
always my favorite question.
right, well, it's loaded with this one though, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm a very different stylistically individual than most, I think. And our artists are incredible, our team's incredible. So it's very different. You guys get to peep different stuff. I like to joke about it's a familiar thing, but
Mhm.
not familiar. You know what I mean? It's very it's interesting because a bunch of companies that have come before us that I'm have always held in high regard, such as Zetascope, have tried their hand with it and stuff, and I had to not only go different than the original, not just the original stories, but the Disney stories, the cartoon, the live action television show,
Mm.
um, and I had to go different than anybody else. Well, Eastland, you need to do whatever's good. Electric's important. So, but we, in doing different, I rewrote the entire, I think lore to the stories. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like it's an entirely new thing with familiar characters in a way. Like our take on Alice is an individual that gets sucked into a different world, which is familiar, but this world is completely underground. It's like there's no sun. It's all ambiance and lighting from natural sources and stuff, which makes it really interesting. You're also not she's not our main character per se.
Oh,
She's the main character. Oh, I totally get that, Eastland, for sure. She's the main character, but she's not, right? She's like an element of the story. So every issue you'll see Alice. She plays these big parts and is very important to the world we're building. But at the same time, the first issue is focused around the Hatters and the situation that the Hatters are in, you know, which is completely different than anything you've read before, And I'm not going to give away a lot of story or anything, but, it's very interesting what the Hatters are because the Hatters are not one individual, it's like a tribe of people.
Mm.
So you're meeting your very first Hatter, who is like our main Hatter for the story. But again, she's a member of the Hatters, and then you've got your caterpillar, which you actually meet a version of the caterpillar in the first issue. It's a very mechanized type of book, like a little bit of steampunk type of deal, which is really interesting to me. So you're getting this like steampunk feel to it, this very dark, very spooky feel as well. But at the same time, Lieris Cross does all the interior artwork, guys, and it's absolutely beautiful. But she's just very animated artwork. Like
I
it's a
love her
very
style.
yeah, man. Like her facial expressions. I'm not showing you guys but 2 pages tonight because of the fact that I want you to be surprised when you see these facial expressions off this character. Um, I love the way that she's done the Hatter. Like the Hatter is so much fun. You know, we've seen so many different iterations through the years of this character that we had to do it completely different. And gender bent was definitely the way we wanted to go. Well, because when you throw the ethereal spice in there, you're definitely going to get your what do you guys call that, huh? Your cheesecake and whatnot, right? Is that what we're going to go with it?
Sure.
Bladen, what do you call it? What do we call the ethereal spice? What makes it ethereal spicy?
Thick thighs.
I don't know. I think you got it.
Yeah. All right. So, oh jeez. But there's we've brought on the traditional Year of the Blue Flame covers. They came out really, really good. They were actually done by Steph Wilson this time. So I absolutely love them. That's Alice. It's a great cover. He also did a regular cover, and Carrie Ann, she blew these away. That's the regular Steph Wilson, which was I love that one. I love the over the shoulder thing. Like I know it's not a view you get all the time, but I really liked the concept. Like I don't know, I like that one a lot. We've got a bunch of ethereal regulars that the team is in there doing fun stuff. We've got Bladen Hunter here with us tonight, and he did a great cover colored by JT Malloy. I was really, really excited about this one, guys. Like I mean, I love this ambiance that everybody's creating with the mushrooms and the particle lighting. April has feelings about mushrooms. Well, we blame our good buddy Devin for April's feelings about mushrooms. I don't know why she's got weird feelings about the mushrooms. She's got some weird feelings.
Yeah, it's funny.
I guess you have to see the full color cover to get the idea of why she has. I don't know, but that cover came out beautiful as well. I absolutely love it. Then we got a really cool cover by Jen Broomall. And
she's so fabulous. I love her.
Yeah, the Jen Broomall cover came out absolutely beautiful. I was like, wow, that's just the coolest fucking thing. Because again, I am a fan, right? So like I'm a fan of all the companies that have come before us. So when you go, when you think pinup, I mean, Jen is in top 5, easy, for the past 15 years, So it was just very exciting to have her come on and do a cover. We're excited to work with her in the future and whatever, she's got some cool stuff going on right now. And speaking of cool stuff and April, April did a great cover as well. Like, dude, the fishnets on that one, I'm a big fan. Like, I'm a big fan of the fishnets on that one. I love everybody's different takes on the rabbits. Like, I just think they're so much fun. Like, everybody's got a different take on them. And like, speaking of different takes and team members, Marissa Pope and Sanju brought on a really good one. Absolutely love that one as well. And again, rabbits. Everybody went in different directions with the rabbits, which was just so much fun. Like I mentioned, the rabbits. Bladen did the riding rabbit, which is actually, what it looks like in the actual book, the size wise. She uses the not the white rabbit, but the oh man, I can't think of his name. The other rabbit to get around. And then talking about Lieris had this beautiful cover of Alice. As a wild version as well. It's just very exciting to work with characters that have been around for so very long. And it's exciting to give to to throw our take on these beautiful, beautiful characters. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I am thrilled and feel like we've joined a club almost, and that sounds funny. But as creators, I think Ethereal has joined a club now that is created that are using characters that have been created in history, right?
Mm.
So again, they're so very different though. You know, like if you look at American McGee, if you guys are familiar with him and his artwork, he actually did the a video game for Alice, The Madness Returns, and that was another one. I had to make sure that since we were doing a darker take on the series and the characters, that we also had to stay away from what he created. You
I've
know,
not heard of
so
it.
oh man, it's beautiful. I spent so much time. Like I said, I'm a fan of everybody before us, so I
Mm.
studied everything they did. Right.
Mhm.
Funnily enough, one of our team members created the look for the Jabberwock for Zenoscope,
Oh.
and that was Greg Bo Watson. He created the actual design for the Jabberwock. So when we brought him on and we were talking to him about this particular series, you know, he was like, well, what are you going to do that's different? You know, everything you have to do has to be so drastically different. So you guys will get introduced to our Jabberwock, which is entirely different than anything you've ever seen, I promise. He's actually on one of the covers, and I thought I had it. Oh, there it is. There's Greg Bo's cover with the Hatter and our Jabberwock. And it was such a pleasure to what's going on, Shawnee? It was such a pleasure to work with the, well, he's on our team. We work with him all the time. But when I was working with the design for the Jabberwock, it was with him, and it was so cool, right?
Mhm.
I can't explain how cool it is to work with the team members that we have. You know, we talk about it, and we're very uplifting to everybody we work with, but it's a phenomenal experience when you realize we work with cats that are influences of our own. Guys and gals that influence everything we do. You know,
So do you see this being an ongoing series, or is it like a limited run of like a mini series, or is this
it's
a one and done?
it's absolutely ongoing. Absolutely.
Nice.
I'm already working on the script for the second book right now. The second book is actually from the perspective of Tweedledee and Tweedledum, and our Tweedledee and Tweedledum are cannibals. And to me, again, that's just another layer that we're adding to this world. And when I mentioned earlier that you guys would see um, Alice throughout every book, you'll actually see her and the Hatter dealing with Tweedledee and Tweedledum from Tweedledee and Tweedledum's perspective in the next issue. And they're actually meat grinders for the Red Queen. So you guys will get to learn all about that in the next issue. But this issue is focusing on Alice's entry into Underland, her meeting the Hatter, and also the first appearance of the White Rabbit, um, which is in our world a very, very villainous individual. Um, his design, oh my gosh, when Liera
Dude.
sent me the design, I was so excited, like so excited. Um, I would love to show you guys that one. Hold on, let me see if I can uh, pull
That's
up.
one of my favorites.
He's such a cool character, and it was done so well. If I could, I'll actually bring up David Acampo's cover for it because David does beautiful, beautiful work, and he's been on the team for so long. Absolutely love working with David. Um, Let me see if I can snag his cover. I was trying to find a low res because I can't upload a high res on here. So let me see if I can snag it real quick. Absolutely beautiful stuff. And this he did the line work and the colors for. Look at me not be able to find it now just because I want to.
Story of
I'm
my
looking for it. I
life.
can't find it. That's just the way it works, right?
It
Like
really
that's
is.
the
It's
absolute way it works.
it's the man's version of trying to find something at the bottom of your purse.
Yeah, right. That's exactly what it is. You're like looking for it, you cannot find it. I found it. Here we go. Let me upload it. But it's such a cool. He's such a cool character, and he's terrifying. And David has a way of bringing that out in a character.
Yes.
I absolutely love it. Like this is probably one of the coolest pieces of art I've seen in a really long time, and I see a lot.
I
To say the
second
least.
that.
I mean, I see a lot. I can't wait to see, Bladen get his hands on this character. I can't wait to see, a couple other folks who got on the team do this character at some point in time or another. It's funny because it's so different. Yeah, it's so creepy. It's cool, Shawnee. You're absolutely right. He's a very terrifying character. But so getting into the meat and potatoes of what this is, it's like we have what this world, and in this world are builders, and builders can use their life energy to create things as long as they understand it. Like, so the caterpillar is a creator or a builder, so he can create things. Like you'll see a giant mechanized caterpillar, like literally something crazy wild that he's built out of like just energy and his life force. So when Alice arrives, she's a builder. So now you've got the Hatter that's trying to find the builder to help herself in a way. And I don't want to give all that away, but you saw the image earlier where the man was laying in the bed, um, and she's like touching his face. And it's like, that's why she needs to find the builder. She needs to find the individual that can help her, help him. And it's a very emotional story from her side. And so we met goal, guys. Congratulations in 16 minutes. Just a heads
What?
up. Dope. Well played. Thank you everyone so very much. Awesome. 16 minutes is incredible. Thank you so very much.
Congratulations.
Yeah, go team. Go Franz. And if Franz sounds funny to anybody, I don't know how to call people fans. I still view all you guys as my friends, even if I don't know you. I appreciate you as an individual, because it's gonna sound funny when I say that, but you guys support 47 different people when you back these books. This isn't a small operation. You literally support 47 different folks. Like if you look at that right now, you're paying for Christmas for 47 different people, or every little thing you do, um, it supports the brand and everybody in it, and not there's no individualism in Ethereal, and it's an incredible feeling. We appreciate you. Thank you so very much. Um, yeah, Shawnee. Well, we love you being a friend, man. We love you being a friend. And when I started saying that, people laughed because it was like, I don't want to be a friend. Yeah, motherfucker, you do. You want to be a friend. A friend is great because a friend gets cool little things, and we remember you, and when we're in town, we visit, and we hope you're doing well. You know, we are not so large as to forget our friends. Shawnee, how many people do you think were out with us when we were in Vegas? I mean, April, do you know? There were, oh my God.
We wound up having to pull together another table.
Yeah, there were like 30 people hanging out in Vegas with us.
And it was wonderful.
It was wonderful. It was an incredible experience. I can't wait to go back. Um, again, as we build, Shawnee said around 30. So yeah, there were around 30 team members and friends hanging out in Vegas at Bubba Gump, and it was an incredible experience, like no other.
Agreed. I would
You
love
know,
to do that again.
we definitely need to. Blade and Hunter had the clan there. It was great to see all of them.
Yeah.
It's just when we go at things, we give it everything we've got. So like when you see, hey, look, there's 10 covers, or you've got your wild covers. Trust me, there's some really good wild covers for this one as well. And you're looking at that and you're like, man, it's hard for me to pick. And it's funny because we had this conversation, April and I and Joseph and I. Um, we've had these conversations where Kickstarter backers will go, hey, I don't know which one to pick. You guys do a lot of covers, and we do. And in reality, that's because I can't choose between my team. And that's a very loaded answer when you get the time to unpack it. But I can't choose between these people. These people are family, they're friends, they're compatriots. Everything we do together. So when we eat, we all eat together. That's including the friends. So like, what do we do for for Fallen Leaves, right? Last issue of Fallen Leaves. We got 20 something thousand on that campaign, and we're giving away 4 original pieces of art for that book.
Something like that.
When we hit 20K, we're giving away we gave away 4 fucking pieces of original art.
That's awesome.
So it's like
and then once you hit a certain stretch goal, you're actually giving away even more with extra storytelling in the actual.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
so with
more is always better.
This issue, when we hit 13, we'll add 6 additional pages.
Nice.
And I know we'll get there. I have no doubt. I'm excited about it. We'll add the 13 addition or 6 additional pages, and those pages are actually about Alice and the Hatter meeting Tweedledee and Tweedledum for the first time. Shawnee says many of us feel the same way, which is why it's difficult for us to choose as well. Fortunately, with as many friends as you have, everyone is guaranteed to get some love, and that's what's up. That's it in a nutshell.
Yeah.
We put all this work together, and we sit and we deliberate about, especially moving into 2 books a month, right? We have to deliberate where we're, moving our talents to the best of our ability to give you guys the best products we can possibly give you, and like just talking about right now, like, 13,000 is a stretch goal, 6 additional pages, full story pages, not bullshit. Full story pages is what we give you guys for those additional pages. So when we're into that, right? When we're getting into that, those pages, I clicked the wrong button. Oh no, I fixed it. When we're getting into those pages, Bladen's doing fun stuff, and I was trying to fucking see, and I couldn't see what he was doing, so I brought it up on the big one.
That's what she said.
That's right. We'd like to give him the big one here at Ethereal. Not that it's always my big one, you know what I mean? It's a cumulative big one. But with the story pages for this one, you guys will get all kinds of stuff about Tweedledee and Tweedledum and how the characters are running into them. And Bladen, that is fucking phenomenal, dude. Like, that is cool as all shit. And he is my silent partner. I love that man to pieces. He doesn't talk very often, though. But when he does, you fuckers need to listen, because he drops nuggets of truth. That's right. That guy right there. And then April is working on her crazy shenanigans from Kingtober, which, congratulations, madam, did incredibly well.
Thank you.
And
I was so excited. I put in my order for the Squee erasers.
There you go. Right on. I'm hyped about Squee erasers.
I'm totally excited.
Well, that was the coolest thing about last month in October. It was our first month of putting 2 books out at once. One of them being the Red Label Squee book, After Dark, Squeesome, from good buddy April, and a bunch of other Ethereal names were on that one. And we funded both books, thanks to our friends, in less than an hour. 2 books in less than an hour. That's an incredible thing. Again, it all goes back to not being possible without everybody being involved, and it's phenomenal. Speaking of After Dark and the other brand, our incredible interior artist for Underland, Liaris Cross, actually has her book, which she's bringing over, and she'll be producing that through Ethereal, and that drops in January. Am I right on that?
I got to double check with her, but we were looking at the end of January, just in the chat couple weeks ago.
Right on, for
So
sure.
as soon as I get done with Squee After Dark, I'm going to be hitting her up with more information about what she wants to do, because I believe I'll be doing a cover for Rain as well. So that should be
Rain is
super
gorgeous.
fun.
Rain's gorgeous.
Oh,
So
I can only imagine.
I
I'm a
mean,
huge fan of her art style anyway, and though we have completely different styles, I absolutely love her as a person. So I am just super excited
oh yeah.
to contribute to her artistic endeavor and hope that I can,
Well, here
do
is
it justice.
here's a cover that many of you have not seen. That we did a foil edition called "Good to Be Green" for the preview, which is showing up in people's houses this week. But we did this in a foil, all green. This is Liaris' art as well. This particular color, though, will be available later on. I don't know how I'm going to add it, but I hate to not use this incredible artwork. So we'll make this available at some point. Another cool thing with the holidays coming up, guys, we've got a set of stickers from Trevor. Love Trevor's fucking artwork. But we've got some beautiful Christmas themed stickers from Trevor, including this Agent C, which is just too fucking cute.
She's so cute.
It's so dumb, right? She's fucking adorable. Like, she's just the cutest damn thing. And speaking of Agent C, Bladen Hunter and I designed this character, and I think that she's becoming very quickly known in the comic and indie world, which is phenomenal. We love her to pieces. She's definitely mascotish character for the brand. And then he also did a couple other cute ones, including it is adorable. Thank you, Shawnee, so very much. And we've got these bad boys. Oh, they're so cute. Like, she's in like wrapping paper.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, so this is available as well. It's another good one of Eve. Eve's so much fun. And then we've got a Maya, which super cute elf Maya. I'm down for that. Santa's a naughty elf Maya, But those stickers are available with this campaign. And I mentioned wild covers. They're pretty synonymous with us now, I think. I had a conversation with well, not one individual, but it's been several in the past few months. Only on Kickstarter. None of the folks that follow us on Instagram or anything ask this question. It's a very popular one on Kickstarter, though. They ask if there's nudity in the interiors of the books, and I'm always kind of taken back by that. You know what I mean? Like, because I feel like the brand, we always do like at least some form of tasteful wild cover for most of our brands. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So for most of our IPs, so it's like when we throw you a wild cover, I feel like we're letting you know, like it's there, like there's nudity. You know what I mean? So, but I learned recently that there are brands that do nude covers that don't do nude interiors. I did not know that. That was not something I knew. So a lot of these guys and gals have legitimate questions about this. Yes. So Ethereal you're guaranteed, with the exception of the listener, to have nudity at least somewhere for the most part in any book that's out currently. and that's not to say that's going to be the way it is in the future, but currently there are no IPs in Ethereal that don't have nudity in them outside of the listener. And then if you go to the red label, well, the red label is like going over to the red light district. So I mean, you're
Ooh, we should have like the blue light as an unlockable stretch goal for the
yeah,
red label.
for sure. Whenever we do like a red label campaign,
Yeah.
we should do a
Your
like a
little
blue light
like
stretch
kit.
goal. We're gonna do sweet versions of our characters for this one. You know what I mean? I love the clock. That's ridiculous. I can't even begin to. Holy shit, bro! Good design.
What?
The clock, the white rabbit face in the clock. It's really really cool. So Blade and Hunter actually will have a few. I think he's got 2 or 3 available original art blank covers for this campaign. And if you're looking for, look at the hand stop. He's like, "What'd you say?" So so then you've got your store variants, guys. If you know anybody with a store that is looking for ethereal books, make sure you let me know, because we do an incredible discount for stores. Like, we do a literal incredible discount. What's going on, Facebook user? I always feel bad, right? Because it's like, hey, you should know who I am. I can't see it though, so it's always like, ah, fuck. But and Blade always kills it, dude. There's never a moment, Shawnee, that I don't think he's smashing. Saucy elf, yeah, definitely a saucy elf. Another cool thing that we've done recently is in the last campaign, I think was the first time we did it, and moving into this campaign, we'll be doing them all the time, is the 11 by 17 packs. We're not doing individual 11 by 17s, but there are tiers where you can combo them into what you're getting. There's one that you can get them for like, I think it's like, let me look, I think it's like $25, where you can get a cover and an 11 by 17 of your choice, which is fucking awesome in my opinion. But then we've also got the 11 by 17 packs, and the 11 by 17 packs are really really cool. It's literally every single cover with the exception of the the Blue Flame covers, which, guys, if you haven't seen the Year of the Blue Flame covers, I would definitely check them out. They end up being really really cool. They're all based on the theme for this year, which was the Year of the Blue Flame. Next year is the Year of the Digital Flame, which is super fun. Oh my gosh. So we've got our first book in January, right, is Fallen Leaves issue 2. So when with Fallen Leaves issue 2, we'll drop the first Year of the Digital Flame book cover, and I know Greg Bo's doing that, and I think he's doing like an homage to World of Warcraft on that one. So that should be really really cool. Let me see if I can show you guys Lenedi's cover. I don't know that I have a safe version of that cover to show you, but I'm a big fan. So let me see if I can snag that good Lenedi cover. Here we go. And Lenedi's cover for this issue came out phenomenal, right? Look at gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, gorgeous, just absolutely beautiful. And one fun thing about Lenedi is we work together on cover designs. So when we put out a cover, it's generally my idea with her twist on my idea. And I just thought this came out beautifully. There is only wild additions to this cover, guys. So the hat stays, the shamrocks go away. You know what I mean? So you guys can definitely snag that beautiful wild cover. Speaking of really cool covers, though, we talked about Steph Wilson earlier. We talked about the Year of the Blue Flame. So what we've begun doing now is we're doing mystery boxes, right? So the mystery boxes have a Year the Blue Flame copy in them. But the wild part about the Year the Blue Flame copy that's in the mystery boxes is if you look at the goo on her in this cover, which is very important to the story in the books. I'm not going to reveal that, but it's very important. Um, all the goo is actually spots foiled. So you'll get regular color backgrounds and stuff on this one, but it'll be spot foil goo. And the only way to get that is to order it from the mystery box. So that's really, really cool. Love that. Can't wait to see more of that. We also had, I haven't shown you guys Sean's cover. Sean Forney, great guy. Been a team member for a while now. He did this beautiful cover, or not that one. That's you. Trying to show off yours again. There's his cover. I love that cover. Just the concept of that is just with the Hatter hanging out. And I think that everybody has done something really, really beautiful in different ways with the freckles on the Hatter, because none of them are the same, right? Can you imagine trying to do the same freckle that another colorist did or another artist? I can't imagine. So it's been really, really interesting to see the different like freckle placement from each artist has been just absolutely beautiful. I mean, I'm a sucker for freckles, so Hatter hanging out.
Redheads.
Josh has got an awesome cover as well. What's going on, ES? Mr. ESK in the house. Let's see if I can find Josh's cover real quick and show you guys how cool that came out. Love that one as well. Here we go. Pop that one up real quick. Show you guys Josh's beautiful, beautiful color cover. If it'll load. I don't know that it wants to load. Oh, there we go. How cool is that? It's like he has a very cool style to me. Like it's very, very different and unique. And I think with Ethereal, not really a fetish, I'm fucking freckly. You know what I mean? So I've always found it interesting. Facebook user has covers coming for us. I wish I could see who it was. Much love, Facebook user. I'm sure it's a member of Team Ethereal, but I can't see who it is. Anyway, so no, I think that as a freckled individual, you know what I mean, with my entire family being freckled, it's like when you see people that go in and they actually rock out the freckles and they're putting the time in, it's just as important to that person's like how they look as like your that's Justin Hunt. What's going on, Justin? It's a pleasure, man. Justin's been working with us for a while. He did the last cover he did was an Amazing Greed 2 cover for with Lilith on it. Can't wait to see what he does next. But it's like, so when you look at someone and you're like, I'm going to draw that individual or I'm going to work on that individual. If they're a character with curly hair, that's like part of the characters, like Bladen just showing you that the beautiful image he just did. Like absolutely fucking stunning. The character of the Hatter has big curly hair. So you have to make sure that you're in there. Every iteration of her has to be, I'm very fond of Bladen calling it on brand. It all has to be on brand when you do a character for Ethereal so people know. Like when April gets requests for the characters to tip over into After Dark. Well, we don't want you not to know that that's that character of ours. So they have to have the certain characteristics that stand out. You know, for like again the Hatter, you know, big red poofy hair, you know, and freckles. So if you forget freckles on a freckled character, it's almost like part of them isn't there. It's a characteristic now.
Agent C and her black ear.
Oh my God, the ear, right?
The ear.
So the ear is so relevant.
Trigger warning.
It's such a trigger warning for me. So the ear is so prevalent because of the fact that when we created the character, she had black spots. Like she had different colored black spots and gray shifts in her fur color and stuff. And I was like, she ended up looking like Domino when we first started working with her colors. And I didn't want that. I didn't want her to be mistaken for anybody else. I knew we'd already get the, oh, she looks like Judy Hopps. She doesn't fucking look a goddamn thing like Judy Hopps. She just happens to be a female rabbit, which means we're kind of like, let's not be, specious against bunnies. I'm just fucking around. But let's look at it like this. You can't say every Ninja Turtle is the same fucking Ninja Turtle. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense. And that's why Eastman and Laird had the turtles colored slightly differently. When they became colored, mind you, originally they were black and white. When they became colored for the cartoon show, he had them colored different colored shades so you would know the difference. And, it's more so than that with Agency and fucking Judy Hopps or even Lola Bunny. There are so many differences in these characters that it's ridiculous. Anyway, so the black ear had to be there. Like it's like the staple of the character. I am really anal about the black ear. To the point where I'll be like, hey, look, don't forget the black ear. Like before we even get to the color process, I'm like, hey, look, if we're adding inks to this page or this, whatever, let's make, and generally I don't have to do it because Bladen does all the interior artwork and he knows see like the back of his hand. But for newer folks, when they come on, it's very, it's not something they remember. So we have to be like, hey, please don't forget the black ear, and it's very important to the character and her design. And I know it sounds silly, but again, those little things, the freckles, the black hair, if you were to take the Sentry, right? Marvel Sentry. You took Marvel Sentry and you didn't color him and you put him next to a 90s Superman that you didn't color side by side, there's no uniqueness in those characters. The characteristics are too close, so we as a brand and as a team always want people to see our characteristics because the characters are so very important. If we're going to spend the time to bring a character to life, we want you always to know that's that character. When you go, again, 45 different artists, right? So if you see an ethereal artist at a show, and whether it's Bladen Hunter, April Reyna, David Acampo, Josh E. Lyman, fucking anybody, you know what I mean? If you see a team member of ours and they've got an ethereal character on their table, that's an ethereal character. It's exactly how it's supposed to be done. And it may draw you to the table. You might not know the artist, but there are certain characters that and that's important, because now
Agency.
Oh,
She's on
fucking
my
Agency
banner.
bananas.
Oh, I love her.
Well, how can you not? I mean, I love her. You know how many people have made me spit out my drink by laughing or just smirking when they go, "Hey, you turned me into a furry." And it's funny because when this started, we've had Bladen and I have had this conversation. I would get emails and people would be like, "Thanks for supporting us," or "Thanks for respecting us," and I'd be like, "Who is us? What is us?" You know what I mean? And they'd be like, "Well, you furries and whatnot and stuff, and lifestyle individuals." And I'd be like, "Cool, yeah, whatever. I support everybody, but as a brand, we support people." But I didn't really understand when we first started this, and because to me, we grew up with anthropomorphic characters, Bucky O'Hare, Bugs Bunny, all these different characters, just like we grew up with Alice in Wonderland.
Mm-hmm.
you know. So a lot of, if you pay attention to Ethereal and you pay attention to the books I write, every story that we put out is original. Okay, it's very original, but they all have takes on my childhood. Like they all have things that have affected me. The last issue of BGD, which is done now, actually, guys, just so you're aware, BGD 3 is finished, is lettered by the incomparable SK, who was in this room. We love him to pieces. Another incredible team member of Ethereal. And when you guys receive that book, the feels are super real in BGD 3. Like it was a tough one for us to get through without acknowledging all the feels. And there are things from childhood that are thrown in there. There are things that we have either gone through, witnessed, seen, dealt with of other people, and that's things that we can write on because we've dealt with them. So life, to quote fucking Jurassic Park, which is one of my favorite films, of course, finds a way, and as funny as and cliche as it sounds, these books are and these stories are finding a way to be, as good as they are and as incredible as they are, because again, the team is phenomenal. From the artists to the letterers to the writers, which we now have 4 writers in Ethereal, which is fucking batshit crazy. Um, so that goes hand in hand with the amount of amazing content that we can put out. We were talking to Bladen not, I don't know, 3 weeks ago about how we're moving from we've moved to two books a month, and the goal next year is by the end of the year to be doing 3 books a month. And a lot of people are like, man, it's how are you doing that, or how are you doing this, or do you think that um you'll burn out? And I don't ever have that kind of issue when it comes to writing. I'm very grateful because not only do I work with these incredible individuals and our incredible friends who, some of y'all get to alpha read the books or beta read the books or whatever. Um, I am, I don't know if it's a curse, April. Bladen and April know, I haven't talked about it a lot, but I got really, really sick last year, like deathly ill, and it sucked. Uh,
Nobody signs up for that.
yeah. So, but it was like I don't sleep anymore because of it very much. Like it's had an effect on me, so I don't sleep much.
Mm-hmm.
So I write all the time, and you can ask them. I'll put an issue together in a day. I'll have a full issue written and edited in a day, and I'm very grateful because I feel blessed for the ability to do so. I'm not sleeping. I miss sleep, but whatever. That's a whole different thing altogether. But I use that time. I use it as well as I can possibly use it. Like if you look right now, Bladen is inking the Jackal, and I spent a lot of time on that character, like designing him and how I thought he should act, react, to stimuli. And you'll get writers who who go into a book and, like, look at Stephen King, right? It's one of my favorite writers, but he'll spend 3 pages to tell you the shade of grass that a character is stepping on, and that's not a joke. I'm being very literal. But I want to have these fully fleshed characters out. So when you guys, back us and we get all this stuff together and we add these additional pages, it gives me that much more space to give you more story to these characters' backgrounds. Like right now, you'll get more of Ryoshi's background in this book. And I love working with that character. You haven't got to see a lot of her yet. I absolutely love working with her. She's ridiculous. She's so much fun. Um, but Underland is the same way. When we started creating these characters, again, it had to be different. They had to be special, like synonymous with the brand, on brand. And I think you guys will really love the Hatter. I really think you'll enjoy her. I think you'll enjoy Alice. But this is a different way to enjoy Alice. Like I mentioned before, she's our main character, but she's not. She's an element to storytelling in our world. And all these other characters have these stories that all evolve around this character. Whereas versus like If It Hops, where If It Hops has a cast and we play with the cast and the cast's different stories, and that we switch perspectives, where we write Underland in the perspective of an individual character or characters per issue. So like you've got the Hatter issue, now you're going to have next will be the Tweedledee and Tweedledum, and then the following issue will be the Caterpillar, and then after that'll be the Red Queen, so on and so forth. So you guys get to see all kinds of cool stuff. And it's cool to be able to write like that and write differently. Speaking of differently, with Christmas coming up, guys, next month we've got the Christmas book coming out, which is going to be absolutely beautiful. I can't wait for you guys to see it. Bladen has gone above and beyond with the beautiful artwork in that book. You guys are going to be super thrilled about it. We've also got some amazing pinups by a good quarter of the Ethereal team in that book. So, yeah, see, look, check it out. So one really cool thing that we talked about with our team members is they get to work on characters that they've never done before. And I thought it was incredible when Bladen came to me and he was like, dude, I got to draw characters I've never done for our brand. And I was like, well, fuck, that's awesome. You just got to see Cade in that. Oh, so good. Oh, so good. Yeah, I love that book already. And I haven't even seen the majority of it yet. So, but one really cool thing, like April came on, oh my gosh, almost 2 years ago now, with Greed. Greed was the first book that she did a cover for. And I loved it. Oh my god. She did Cade and Oz hiding under Cade's bed. Or Oz's bed, my fault. And it was such a cool thing to me. Because as a youth, I remember being terrified. And I wasn't the kid that hid under the blanket. I hid under the bed. Right? Like, I was like, fuck the blanket. They'll pull the blanket off and still get my ass, whatever's coming in here. So I would hide under the bed. I'd move all my toys and shit that was under the bed, and I'd hide under the bed. And I remember thinking the cover was just absolutely phenomenal, this concept that she created. So you actually got to see Cade in that panel for the Christmas book just then. So you guys are going to see some really beautiful, beautiful pieces for that. Adam Fields, longtime Ethereal member, is doing some pinups, a pinup for that. Devin Massey, Mitch Massey, those guys are love them being on our team and stuff. Man, lots going on. Either my silent compadres want to weigh in here.
Sorry, Nels is like doing some sort of karaoke thing upstairs. I was yelling at her to stop it.
That's hilarious. Love
Is
Nels.
it really? I've never loved my sister and brother-in-law so much in all my life until they gave me that, and they were like, "Oh, we feel it too because we gave our kid one too." And I'm just like, "Ah!"
Oh,
but
thank
they
you.
were smart enough to take the batteries out, and I just assumed that those batteries would have been dead by now. But it's just not happening, and it's been a year and a half.
Right on. Gifts early. Love that. I love it for you anyway. So, do you remember working on that first cover?
I sure do. And it was I don't know. I just remember, kind of channeling that whole like childhood fear of trying to like I had a water bed, so I couldn't hide under the bed, which
You
was
got a
extra
water
weird.
bed?
I did when I was a kid.
Fuck, man. I lived in
I
a trailer.
know.
I had a water bed. That's dope as fuck.
No doubt. Well, it was pretty awesome until it was like winter and the heater thingy didn't work, and you're like,
Oh
oh,
no. Yeah, that's
oh,
ass.
right.
No,
But
no,
yeah.
that's all. Bring your first boyfriend over. Come here, hubba hubba. Oh my god, your bed's
Oh
cold.
no,
Fuck
we
this.
didn't. We didn't do that at my house.
Oh well, right on. That's fair.
Yeah.
I don't want my dad to catch us. No, I totally get that. Oh, look at Easter.
I've never been so excited to work from home.
Oh gosh. Easton said she was scared to leave her toes exposed while she was sleeping.
Oh man, and now that I'm older, I'm like I have to have a foot out of the blanket. Ain't that some shit? Like it's weird, right? The things that you are afraid of when you're a kid are not necessarily the things that you're afraid of as an adult. And though every once in a while I'm creeping up the stairs at like 3 a.m. to go to bed, I'll like a new pair of glasses and you're not used to the focal point or the frame that juts out and it looks like a shadow is moving and you're like, oh, wait a minute. And then all of a sudden you're channeling that childhood fear of things that move in the dark. Like,
right on.
Okay.
Right on.
Right. So when you're, trying to tuck yourself into bed and talk yourself into sleep and you got one foot hanging out the side of the bed or something and you're like, no, I don't know about this.
Oh man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We've also got some of these. I don't know that we've added these on the Kickstarter, but we probably will. We've got these that came out absolutely stunning from Trevor too.
Are they not on there?
This set's not, but they were on the last one. We might add them. Yeah, if we get far enough into the campaign, I'll add these on there. They're pretty cool.
Oh, sure. Well, even to just put them on as an add-on.
So we showed you guys this one. We were talking about wild covers. I loved the wild version of this one. Like I was super excited about that. And then you've got Marissa's wild cover came really, really pretty as well.
That one's.
I don't know why I put the shamrock on her butt, but I was like, I didn't want anybody to be like, and get all mad at me for having butt crack out there. So I'll tell you what I find really, really cool about this one is the dimples. Like if you look, like I'm a sucker for certain things on covers. And you guys can ask any of the team members or even on interiors. If there's an indentation, like if I grab your arm in real life and it makes an indentation in your skin, it should do that in a comic book. I don't give a shit what anybody says. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like if you've got like dimples in your cheeks, dimples in your ass, I need to see the dimples. I got news for you. I need to
dimple inspector.
Absolutely. I need to see the things. This one was actually I really like this one a lot by Mitch Massey. I had to put these on there because she's got some big 4-leaf clovers on this particular cover. But this one was a lot of fun as well. Dan Kemp killed the colors on this one.
Mm-hmm. Very bad.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I can't pull Devin's on here, but there's a couple really, really good ones. There you go, the flesh divots. That's what the fuck is up, man. Flesh divots.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan because like when you're creating something, and again, I've had to do this more with Evan Hops and BGD than anything else. But you're suspending your disbelief, right? That's a huge part of writing. We're just suspending your disbelief. And especially if it hops in the listener, because I constantly have to lie from one character to another character in those books because there are a lot of mystery in those titles. So when we're already suspending your disbelief, I don't want you to have to struggle to not believe something else. So if something should happen, these are not superhero books. So if there's a situation where something should happen, it tends to. If uh, gravity, or physics, or very rarely do we suspend those things. So outside of character design, guys, our books are pretty on point, with the exception of any of our spiritual books. So um, I'm really excited about this issue there, Bladen. Like, I'm really, really excited about it.
I think it's interesting that the listener breaks all your normal rules.
It does, doesn't it? And it was the first book. It does. It breaks all my rules.
Which makes me want to read it that much more. I cannot wait to have that be at the forefront of the next thing that I do.
Yeah, it breaks all the rules because it was I don't know, man. It was I almost, the first issue was like a gift to my family when my uncle passed. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
as we wrote more and more into it, like, I'm like literally like, I know there are 9 issues edited, but there are like 24 written on my hard drive right now. That book is
Try not to clean your hard drive too much that they're gone.
Yeah, no kidding. You know what's amazing? I think Ed Garcia is gonna do wonders with that book. Like, I really, really do think he's gonna do. Yeah, Bladen thinks so too. I think he's gonna do wonders with it. Speaking of wonders, we have a book that we're not going to talk about, but we can talk about the artist that's going to come into it. I'm very excited to be working with Vic Montoya.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah.
I'm very, very excited. Like, as Ethereal grows as a brand, and we continue to bring on, that was a stellar way to do that ink work there, sir. That was really, really cool. Just that corner was really neat. I was like, oh, I'm sitting here. I get mesmerized when I watch ethereal artists, whether it's April, whether it's Bladen, whether it's the Massies, or Adam Fields or whoever. Whenever I sit and I watch these guys, I get lost in how beautiful their skill level is. It's not just the art itself; it's the concepts of what they're creating. That it blows my mind. Like, when you write something, like the listener, you know what I mean? When you write something and then you have someone come in, and which was also, what also broke my rules about the listener is I designed every panel in those books. Like, I literally sat and designed every panel in those books. And for those of you guys that are listening or watching or whatever later, I don't do that with the artists anymore. You can ask any of them. I give them loose designs for panels. I never go in and give them direct panel instruction anymore, because I've found that unless they need it, which I don't mind helping, it's almost like creative licensing. Like, when I tell Bladen, hey, look, it's very loose, right? The scripts I send these guys and gals, very, very loose. So when, you see a panel, those are characters we created, yes. But most of the time, those are panels directly from the artist. And I'm going to tell you this, that's magical. Like, no bullshit. That's a magical thing. Because your bigger companies don't allow that. They're to the minutest detail what they want on a page. So when we go, hey, look, this is our artist, this is what they get to do. It's literally their magical, creation that gets these awesome panels out in your hands. And I'm always awed by it. I'm literally always awed by it. Wow. So cool thing about this is um, Bladen has started doing more and more pages so you guys can have them by hand. It's not that he has to do this. I'm letting you know that's a secret. That's real talk. He we've talked numerous times about how he likes the fans to actually be able to have pieces of these incredible books. And I'm
I'll be
about
back
that.
in a sec.
Yeah, for sure. So we've broken 2,400 so far, which is phenomenal, guys. Thank you so much. But I think that right now he's inking again. He's inking the Jackal, and the Jackal was a character that to me needed to be terrifying, but not just like physically, but like mentally terrifying. Like he's incredibly intelligent. I mean, just this monster of a character. And for those of you that have read issue 1, you got to see this crazy, throwdown with him and some other characters that was just awesome. Um, as like again, as much as I write awesome fight scenes, uh, the artists bring them to life in ways that are unbelievable. Bladen is the art director for Ethereal, as well as Ethereal After Dark. So you guys actually get this is a real treat getting to see him work because he works on all these projects. So getting to see that time that he takes, and at the end of the day, it's always his decision for the artwork that you guys get to see, whether he approves it or doesn't approve it. Um, he's, in my opinion, when we're older, and it's high praise, and he's one of my closest friends. But I do foresee him being a modern master when we're older, and I think that's a very cool fucking thing. He's definitely very very strong, but he also teaches some of the newer artists different styles, and again, incredible stuff to watch. He also records videos sometimes that you guys can go back and check out on his Facebook page, his YouTube page, of pieces that he's creating. So you guys can go in and check out how he does it. Um, really cool stuff. I know you're real busy right now, but sometimes you put them out there. But I can't say enough about the team though, guys. And with going into next month, into January, you guys will be able to start picking up the 2 different books. You'll be able to start picking up, the different genres. One big thing that we've as a brand have moved into is making sure that you guys have different genres that you can check out. Yeah. Well, that's a real good book coming out too. Yeah. Yeah, I see you. That's a real fucking good book coming out. So that's an amazing image from our series, Kill Cam Space Cowgirls, which is going to be a blast. Which is coming out first quarter next year. Bladen is doing all the interior artwork for that as well. Love those chicks. I've actually written 2 issues for that, so we're well and ready for that book to start rolling as well. Like I mentioned before, and I've said it a few times recently, we have like 15 IPs, guys. So if there's a style or a type of story that you're into, we probably do it. You know, and again, moving to 2 books a month means you don't have to wait, a year between issues or anything. You're getting these books every other couple months. You know, our release schedule is based on the one good thing that I think Diamond does, and that is give you guys pre-orders 3 months out. So if you order a book, your first book, let's say you order your first book from Ethereal, and it's a pre-order, it's going to be 3 months. But at the same time, if you order like that consecutively, you start getting books every month. It just takes that first 3 months to catch up, and then you're catching a book in the mail from us every single month. And starting in January, well, starting in October, actually, if you did that, you'll be getting 2 books a month, which is still mind blowing and incredible to me. Um, and Mr. Hunter has 3 books that he does interiors for Ethereal, which is fucking awesome. Um, what else we got coming out that month? Oh, so January is Fallen Leaves issue 2, and The Listener issue 5. Fucking issue 5. You believe that? Issue 5 of The Listener. If you missed out on issues 1 through 4, we have the trade paperbacks available for you guys to order for 1 through 4 of The Listener. And a cool thing about those trade paperbacks, guys, is they not only come through with issue 1 through 4, they come with what's called Guy's Journal. And originally, Guy's Journal could only be gotten through Kickstarter and was for the Frans, right? So now it's also inside the trade paperbacks. You guys can check that out. Really, really, really hyped about that. So we're, going through different stories. Bladen is a man of many talents. I hear that a lot. That he's a man of many talents. I appreciate you noticing that, Shawnee. If you're a fan of like fantasy and stuff like that, I think that if Fallen Leaves is really going to be up people's alley, Issue 2 is like a time leap, so it should be really, really cool. Issue 1 was like, what you call that? Like your Bladen, what is that called? The it's not the origin story. It's I guess the origin story, right? Where they get
It's
their
pretty much origin, yeah.
Yeah, so it's an origin story for the main character. What she dealt with as a youth and what has made her the way she is as a person going into book 2 and forward. You also get to meet your first like major antagonist in that issue. In the last issue, in issue 1, in the 6 additional pages. So we do a lot of fun stuff with that. Issue 1 of If It Hops, we introduced Ryoshi and Agent K in additional pages. So we don't just get, like I said, we don't just give you guys little tidbits with those. We're, first appearances are in there. Main story parts are in there. So we have a lot of fun with them. The Greed issue 3, we just released again, which is already shown at people's houses. More went out this week, more go out next week. But that particular book, the 6 additional pages, was the start to a story arc for Lee and Arya, which is in the past, to give you guys some details about those 2 characters, and also about the Listener, because that book is tied into that world and that character very heavily. So I'm really, really enjoying the fact that Ed Garcia has picked up not only Greed, but the Listener, so you guys will be able to have like art that's synonymous in both worlds, And not only did we pick up that book right now, but there's a lot going on. Jeez, please, there's a lot going on.
When's Frog Legs coming out?
Oh Lord, Frog Legs, fuck.
Exactly.
as soon as you guys are ready, that book will be up for, Bladen has taken an incredible artist and has mentored him, and they have a book I've written called Frog Legs. I literally wrote it and they were into it and ready to go as soon as they saw the script. But it's also in that world. It's very like spiritual-esque and really, really interesting, but a different way. It takes place in Louisiana, has a lot to do with cooking and culture, and it's a very, very cool book. And
Men's
sexy
hairstyle
girls.
choices.
What is it?
What?
What choices?
Oh, men's hairstyle choices.
Men's hairstyle choices. Absolutely. Well, sometimes we have to do the hair flip and whatnot.
Oh my gosh. Yes, please. Unnecessary hair flips are like my new thing. Not new.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
absolutely. Well, they're very on brand. So
that's as they should be. I feel like if we've got all this TNA out there with the wild covers, the least we can have is an unnecessary hair flip every issue of Frog Legs. Just
I'm with you. I think
it's
that works.
not even
I think we could
overly
do Ricky and
sexist,
BGD
it's
with the
just
unnecessary hair
unnecessary.
flicks.
Huh?
What? Yeah, unnecessary hair flips and BGD.
Ricky.
Oh, yeah, Rick. Well, so I
Look,
just
Ricky
got.
doesn't have any hair.
That was a joke.
Oh, now
He's got a
if we
big
had
old red
helicopter
dino thing.
Wang or something, that might be a whole nother story.
Well, we just did the Free the Lizard variant.
Yeah, that's just one variant. I'm talking
Well,
like
so I have an idea for next year. Okay, hear me out. All right, I have an idea for next year. I think that we do an all dudes summer special,
yes.
like with all the male main characters from Ethereal. Like
Like a calendar. Like
a
fireman
calendar,
calendars or
yeah.
something.
Like you do your like the firefighter calendar. I think we could do that for Ethereal.
Yes. Oh, or have them with domesticated pets.
Oh my gosh, y'all are silly.
You're like, look, it's a cute dude with a super cute bunny.
Yeah, right. Oh my goodness.
Watch me do a twist on that. You're
Yeah,
welcome.
I bet. That'd be red label all day. Somebody call HR. Wait a minute, HR is the one doing the shit. Who do we call after that? Don't call me. Somebody figure that shit out.
I'll be sure
So
to file those complaints in an orderly fashion.
well, we have to be fair. You know what I mean? Because you guys are about to get this Christmas book that's pretty. It's pretty spot on all the beautiful Ethereal ladies. So we'll definitely be working on that. Speaking of the Christmas book and the beautiful ladies, the Massies are doing characters that no one else is doing for that book. So I'm very excited to see what they're doing. I know that one of them is doing a necromancer, the other one is doing a dwarf. So
nice.
It should be pretty cool. Really, really happy about that. I feel like I should be typing. You guys are doing all this beautiful work. I feel like I should be writing something.
No, you write stuff and then you give us stuff to do. We got stuff.
That's kind of how that works, right? That's how the world turns, right? Tells us to slow down so we can catch up. That's literally verbatim what has been said at least once recently.
Well, I think I was the one that told you that. So.
Exactly.
No, it is awesome to have you at the helm because you need somebody that is planning those next moves, making those next scripts, keeping things exciting for holiday specials and unlockable stretch goals and new character designs, because without that, this becomes very mundane very quickly. And there is nothing wrong with a dependable, reliable, and amazing story. But every once in a while, it is neat to come across a unique brainchild, a unique thing that you can offer that sets Ethereal apart from the rest of mainstream comics. And I'll never fault you for that. But I'm not gonna start putting things on the schedule beyond the 6-month period. I can't right now. I got too many dicks to draw still.
Slow your roll, motherfucker.
Just give me like 2 more weeks.
I gotta get all the naked people done, and then I can start working other shit.
Yeah, I know. I'm real excited. Like once I get once I get Squee After Dark in the bag, I can start focusing on things beyond my immediate purview. But oh my
Oh man,
gosh, this
we've got, what do we have though? We've got these neon streets that we're working on.
I've
We've
still got
got,
to finish my last half of pages for that. Yep.
yeah, and then we've not only that, we've got Don't Drown.
Oh man, I am so excited for that.
I am terrified by that.
You should be.
Oh,
I mean, yes.
it's a great project. I'm terrified by it. I'm
Hmm.
also, I love how you're keeping that character's face in the dark. That's very cool. Um,
What?
yeah, it's I love it. It's, well, you should,
Oh,
yeah, we're, it's very, again, I mentioned earlier in If It Hops in the listener, I lie to my characters a lot. And it's really interesting when you look from a writer's perspective. When you're telling a story, you're literally going, you know the outcome, right?
okay.
You know what's happening. But when you look at it, like I write from a character's perspective. Like
Okay.
I go in and how would they feel? How is their reaction? What are they going to think about stimulus? And I think it sets us apart, the brand, a lot. And that's not to toot a horn or anything, but it comes very naturally to me because I started writing, and when I was started writing professionally, it was, uh, campaigns for RPGs. So I was always thinking about how a character would react to a player,
Okay.
and so now it's how would a character react to another character, and yada yada, whatever. Um, so I'm sitting here going to myself, how, because you're lying to yourself basically. You know what I mean? You're literally, again, you know what's happening, but the character's perspective that you've taken, they don't know what's happening. They have no clue, and they're trying to learn and understand everything going on. So, like when you go in and you're like, okay, cool, look, this guy knows this, or he doesn't know that, or so on and so forth. Um, you have to make it believable when you write the script that they don't know. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's basically like, I know you guys have read Harry Potter. I know you guys have seen the movies, but the whole time everybody knew Snape wasn't the bad guy but us, right? So the whole fucking books and movies were like, oh, you fucking hate Severus Snape, da 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 da. But in reality, he's like the best good guy out of the whole fucking series.
I
You
don't
know?
know. I like McGonagall a lot.
Well, for sure, but I mean, you're talking about a character that is like playing off
Villain
this
coded.
I'm a bad guy,
Yeah.
They're villain
type,
coded completely.
right?
Yeah.
So, when you write from like a character's perspective that is hiding something, and they're hiding it from every other character, you have to write the other characters as if they don't know what you know.
Hmm.
And it's a very interesting thing to me to put yourself in those shoes as, as the way that I write. Like when you look at this page right now, right? And it's going to sound silly when you look at the page and what I'm about to say. I don't have the dialogue written for this page yet. And people ask me all the time, they're like, well, why don't you write the dialogue? And it boils back to something that I think is important and will stick with me, and will stick with this company long after I'm gone, is the fact that the characters have voices. And when I heard that the first time, I thought it was crazy. Like I was like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Right. And but when I decided to take their advice and put the pages together and have the art all taken care of, then go back and look at the art, I could hear the characters. I knew what they were saying, you
Can I
know?
also add to that? Part of that is also the artist can do certain little things. I don't know if I have anything on these, but we can do certain little tics or certain little behaviors that add to the character's acting. And that is something that can affect the script later as well, because I mean, it's a collaborative work where everybody's putting in their own stuff. So
And I love that. It's such a magical thing. Like when I mentioned earlier that Bladen knows C like the back of his hand, right? He knows any character, like the same thing for Ricky, the same thing for Maya, the same thing for Eve. He may not know exactly what words I'm going to use, but when he gets the script and I tell him, hey, look, they're having this type of conversation, he has the ability to create a characteristic for a character. Like he can go in and, hey, look, Ricky will look like this. Again, goes back to stimulus. When you have a person that works with a character so often, they know, like before, like you could almost, like Bladen could know what I'm going to write almost before he gets it for a page now. If he's reading, like going through it, he's going to be able to guess probably what I'm going to do on the next page because he knows symbiotically what it is to work with me. We've worked together for almost a year and a half now, and it's a very it's very telltale. It's like almost a limb. You know what I mean? When one side of the yin, one side of the yang, or the remoras, on a
you're
shark.
getting all philosophical here. I just make it up as I go along.
Oh, well, right on. um, anyway, it's a team based thing.
Yeah.
From your artist to your colorist, the whole nine. Like we joke with SK all the time because he'll go in and he'll be like, I felt like this should make this sound, and you'll see the sound on the page. You're like, fuck, that makes sense. And it's like I wouldn't have thought to do that. You know what I mean? But it makes sense that it would make this sound on the page. And it just as intense as writing and artwork is. Your letterers do amazing stuff, guys. Like your letterers go in and are literally coming together with fonts. There are a billion goddamn fonts. Not every font works with a book. Or like colors for certain words that are written. Mind you, I do offer insight into certain dialogue choices with coloring. But there was a page for this book in particular that Bladen went in and did the fucking ha ha ha's himself. And they look ridiculously cool. Like inked up and everything and colored. Oh my God, David blew those out of the water. That was so cool. But
the computer can only get you so far. I mean,
for sure.
I think that's part of the controversy with AI, computer, generated images, like fonts or any particular type of addition to the physical page. Like it can only get you so far, but when you're doing it by hand, it has a whole nother energy, a whole nother flair. It can really make, let's say, the Joker look more psychotic. It can make Ricky look more intense and compassionate and rageful. It can add so much more to the story just by doing it in the black and white versus having it generated artificially.
For sure, I get that. Back in the day, I was an advocate of the traditional comic art. I'm still I'm an advocate of any type of art nowadays. But when I was a kid, I didn't want to read anything that was done digitally, right? And I was so ignorant of all of it. And I think as a youth, that's just part of it, as you're learning and stuff. But I didn't want to read anything comic book wise that wasn't done by an amazing, talented hand, And as I got older, I realized that there's so much done digitally that we didn't even realize. You know what I mean? Like, we had no clue. And nowadays, I think it like I felt the same way about all different kinds of styles when they would come out and be like, oh, it's not the norm. I don't care for that. But after I started looking at it myself and being subjective because that's what art is, I started going, oh, okay, well, this works. Computers do great stuff for artists, or when you look at
Completely digital as well. So
yeah.
from the thumbnail and then another layer over that, and then I'm going ink over that with a little bit of pencil here and there.
See, it's a symbiote, again, another symbiotic relationship in comic book creating. It's not always like right now. Like, I'm gonna tell you what, Bladen is fast as fuck. Like, he's fast as fuck. So, but if you're short on time, you can ink on a computer. Oh my gosh, in half the time that you can ink by hand.
You can just
And
throw some textures for background and you're done.
right, and that's, I think it's not always worthwhile to do so, but if you're on a time crunch, or you're looking at a deadline, like right now, again, moving into 2 books a month, our deadlines for our artists are, what do you guys think, like 4 weeks, 5 weeks in between deadlines?
Depends on what it is, but
It depends on what we're doing. Yeah.
So you get about a month to a month and a half between a deadline with us right now. And it's like, I have to keep up with them, and it's like, am I writing this book this month? Or this weekend? Am I working on this book this weekend? I had a artist that does interiors for us reach out to me this weekend and go, hey man, hammer me with art. Like, hammer me with pages. I don't need you to pay me right now or anything. I just want to get X amount of book ahead. Right. And I was like, cool beans, we can do that. So this weekend coming up, I'm elbows deep in a particular IP all weekend. And I'm excited for it. Like, I'm really, really excited for it. But at the same time, I realized that I'm going, okay, well, I'm going to have to put it down to work on a couple other projects. I'm going to have to, move into certain realms. It's when you work on a team, everyone has to meet their deadline. Like, again, even me, I set my own deadlines, but I set them in a way that makes it comfortable for the artists and the inkers and the colorists and the letterer,
Mm-hmm.
because everybody has to be comfortable. That's such an important part of this industry. Well, at least from my perspective, you know what I mean? Like, I don't mess around with the concept of it's my world, or it's my this, or it's my that. We have to come together as people to, again, create the best possible product that we can create. Look at right now, we've got Gene Selassie working on a book. I cannot wait to get that together for him. Right now, I don't have anything that's like that we publish. So his book is going to be a lot of fun. I'm editing that book. It'll be a good time. And then we've also got um, Rodney Fike, who's written a story that may be ongoing, not just a mini series or anything, about a character that is created before BGD, like a prequel story almost that will lead into the world of BGD. So that's pretty exciting. Um, I'm really, really ready to, and that'll be part of these Neon Streets. So you guys will get another mini series there. Um, Lots going on. And then, we've got Frog Legs, which we mentioned earlier. Frog Legs is going to be a lot of fun. Everybody involved is excited about it. And then we've got, oh shit, we've got,
Kill Cam.
There Be Shadows. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There Be Shadows is a lot of fun. I just wrote the first script for that and finished editing it. Not a few days ago, I finished edits. And I I laughed when the first draft I sent to April and Joseph because she was like, "This shit is not. It has not been spell checked," and I'm like, "Well, no, it was just my first draft and my first idea of how this should be."
I didn't get this. I think I
I was
missed
like,
out. Sounds like I'm
"Oh
missing
man."
out.
She was ready to attack the process. Let me tell
Good.
you.
That's what you get.
That's what I get.
I'm all like, before we even put this out in the world, take another crack at it.
She didn't. So this is the first time she's ever jumped into a first draft of mine. So it was like really funny to me because I was like, this chick, this is masterwork. I'm really proud of that fucking script. So I was like, this is some master shit right here. And she comes back with, you haven't spell checked it. And I was like, well, no, I really didn't have a response. And if you guys know me, I talk a lot.
Nobody's rough draft is any good. Okay.
Yeah. So it
If
had not been.
you can't see the rough draft under this, but there's a draft underneath this that is even worse. So
It had not been checked for spelling yet by spell check because I hadn't given spell check the time of day to check it.
as long as
But
you're embarrassed properly.
I was quite like
I'm
again.
sorry.
Again,
Before
I
I start working on something and getting other people involved in something that's beyond the 6-month process, like I'm not ready there. I'm not there yet.
It was really funny though, and you guys will appreciate April's hard work just as much as you appreciate mine and Bladen's because she does a lot behind the scenes. Like a lot behind the scenes, and it's really really changing our business as a whole, and we're very very grateful. So
Hopefully for the better. I'm sorry.
yeah, well, you'll learn. You'll
In my
figure it out.
stupid spiral bound notebook.
Yeah. That's like the whole fuck around and find out thing. Don't
Yeah,
like,
gonna get the 6
don't be like,
finger death.
you need to spell check this because half the time spell check, even in Word, oh, that's a pretty one. Check that out.
What?
It's cute.
Oh, yes. Hips for days.
Hips for days. Hips array. I'm a fan of hips, so you just keep putting the hips out there, and I will keep pushing the hips through. Just so you guys know, we broke 3,000.
Shut up, really? Wicked.
Yeah, book's doing really, really well.
You know what's really fun is that I get to, with characters that don't necessarily have like a particular color palette, I can use markers that I never use.
I enjoy that concept because
Oh my gosh.
just a
Save my
minute ago, I
ink.
was talking about the fact that I was stoked that Bladen was getting to do characters that he'd never done before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I absolutely love you guys getting to jump into things that you've never done with the brand. You know, because you work so closely and are part of the brand that I think that the brand is synonymous with the two of you as well.
Aww.
You know, so when you get to do a character you've never done before or a concept you've never done, I get excited because I'm like, oh shit, that's going to be cool. They're going to have a good time. And as much as we talk about, you know, how, because we make a living with comic books, you know, so which sounds crazy, right? So
No. Shawnee's comment.
Oh, I didn't even see it because I'm so excited about this stuff. I haven't got all blown up.
No, she's all like, "Oh, a great piece, but it may need more flesh divots."
Yeah. Bitch
Sorry.
needs some lines where her fingers are at. Just saying. But no, there's a lot of cool stuff to see, and again, when you're this close to a project and you haven't worked with a character yet, it's almost like you need to, you know what I mean? We need to get you on a character. So especially when it's Bladen and Bladen's like, well, I haven't done that one before. I'm literally like, are you shitting me? How is that even possible that that's not occurred yet? You know, so it's a cool concept. especially with characters like Arya, which Mike DeBalfo was the first person to do that character, and no one else had done her since, before Ed Garcia. So for people to go, man, I haven't done this character, I haven't seen this character before, it's really, really cool. Because you're going, oh man, that's neat, because now they get to stretch their creative wings on something they've never done. And your take on it, even if it's a different color that you've never done, or a different line weight, even, that you may or never used before.
Yeah, you got to learn about line weights in this last couple months.
Yeah. Well,
Dustin's like, you are speaking gibberish to me, and I was all like, no, it's a thing here.
Yeah. I say that a lot, though. You guys will find I have not going into past professions or anything, but with the work that I've been in through the majority of my adult life, I've learned to surround myself with skilled individuals, people that are skilled at things that I am not. So when it came to starting a management team for Ethereal, I needed people that were good at things that I was not. Not just talented at their part, but educated in things that I had no clue. Even though I've got a degree in design, it's like I still am a complete scrub to like Bladen, you know what I mean, when it comes to things, or April when it comes to colors. And I'm not ashamed of that. You'll find that I reach out to them and ask their opinions or their thoughts on so many things, because they're incredibly educated, and not just because of school or anything. It's their experiences in life that have taught them so much about color, or designs, or character feels. I'm digging that thigh gap, just so you know. Little teeny thigh gap right
You mean the lack of?
there. Oh, there's a little teeny tiny little gap right there. I'm okay with it.
Oh.
Like right underneath the little vajayjay round.
Well, there's the teeniest, tiniest of triangles, and
Yes, I'm okay with it.
yeah.
I learned something new the other day, or yesterday actually, from April, because I was like, hey, I don't like that, and I'm terrible. I'm too honest sometimes. Hey, I don't like that, and she was like, oh, that's because of this, and I was like, well, let me explain, and she was like, I already know what you're talking about, jackass. It's this. I'm like, oh, that's right. Okay, you already know. I just need to be quiet.
No, it's fine. I was like, I'm already on it.
Yeah, no, and that's an amazing thing, because any member of, again, Ethereal management is there for a reason, because they know what's up. And having worked with me for so long, again, the management team could answer just about any question, because it's almost like they can read my mind, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with
I like
mind.
when we were explaining environmental elements the other day.
Oh my gosh. Habitually making me feel silly tonight.
I pull pictures and send pictures. I'm like it's like this.
You're absolutely right, Shawnee. I mean, we have, but again, when you're in a team, you have to be able to rely on every member of your team. So you want to make sure that you're, surrounding yourself with educated individuals that not only teach you, but lift you up and lift the rest of the team up. You always want to make sure that you as a group are growing together. That's going to be really pretty, April. That's that chick in the middle there. That's a really good face. That's a good face, dude.
Thank you.
Of course. I don't know what Bladen's got going on here. Let's see. Oh. It's a dude. How rare is that? No, I'm just kidding.
Mwah.
Hello, mommy.
I
It's
love
around by ladies. Be all
It's
right.
time for you
Don't
to
worry.
go brush your teeth and get ready for bed.
It's all gravy.
Okay.
I'm a fan of dudes
Where's
too,
your
man.
dry
You gotta have dudes.
cleaner?
It doesn't matter.
Is that a mouse? I'm a fan of mouse.
Say hi.
Hi.
It's the mouse. Are you feeling any better?
Yeah, I already felt better.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
And now that you had a full belly with mac and cheese,
Oh man.
it's the best.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Oh man.
I always
don't-
like you, Granny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You try not to make a mess.
Leftovers where it's at.
Oh no. She's the most particular kid. I've tried to trick her before. She only eats the single serving Velveeta shells and cheese.
Okay.
Yeah, I have tried to make the family pack and then just stick it into the bowl. That doesn't work. I've tried to use off-brand craft with powder. Doesn't work. We've
Okay.
even tried like the unicorn die-cut pasta or the Minions pasta. No, it has to be shells and cheese, Velveeta, single serving. It's most ridiculous thing ever.
Oh,
Is it 100%?
well, it's 8:46. I better get going.
That's right. What are you gonna do?
Get going.
Go potty.
Brush your teeth, go potty, pick out a book.
Love it. Love it.
Guys,
Well,
tomorrow.
we have
Good for you to do that.
we've
Love you.
been at it for an hour and 46 minutes tonight, guys, and we've hit the Kickstarter is currently at $3,130.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's doing incredibly well. One really neat thing that I love seeing is everybody's covers are selling across the board.
Awesome.
That makes me really, really happy. I love seeing that.
You didn't ask me if I wanted to do any blank variant drawing.
Well, if you'd like to, I will throw you on there, man.
Yeah, I'll do up to 3.
All right. Well, I knew you had that crazy old fucking
Yeah, but
shenanigans.
it takes you 3 months to get a book.
That's
so
true.
I should be
That's
cleared up by then.
That's great. I'll add
I'm
that.
not sure, so don't worry about that.
The first update we'll do tomorrow morning. I'll add that, and we're hoping to add one other cover on there. We'll see if the artist is prepared. So we'll see, and if they are, we'll add that cover. And that looks good, Bladen. Holy cow!
So you're going to inherit my curse of some of my own projects, but this will come back around.
Right on. I love it.
Yep.
I also love the fact that we're going to do this space barbarian chick thing coming up. Excited about that too.
Mhm.
And again, really, really excited about Don't Drown. I think you guys are really going to enjoy that.
I think I'm
we're all just
way more
excited
excited
about
than
Mermaid.
you are.
Well, I'm excited because it's going to be artsy fartsy, and that's
bet it.
it's going to be real bougie artwork, so it should be a lot of fun. And I'm also excited about that page behind that piece of paper you got there. So yeah, I'm pretty hyped about that.
Yep.
Well, it's a lot of fun to speculate on what, as a writer, what your artists are going to make a page look like. And like there's when it comes to Frog Legs, it's fun. I there's no mystery because we deal with that book like every day, which is great. But there's certain books where you're just like, oh, that's gonna look really cool. That scene will be really, really neat. I know that David is going to be tired of rain and fire for a little while, so he had me laughing the other day about that. He was like, trees, rain, and fire, and then we throw him back into If It Hops, and he's like, there's more rain, and I was like,
Yep. Get another Blade and Green book. All right.
yeah, it sets the mood. You know what I mean? So
So essentially, he can just make a Photoshop brush.
I think he has a couple.
Yeah, there
he
you
probably does have a couple, huh? He's probably got a couple Photoshop brushes that are just
I had done this series of women with wings, and my colorist was like, "Swear to God, if I have to do any more bird feathers, I am just gonna quit." I'm like, "Okay."
sorry, pal. I'm
I know.
gonna do a couple more on purpose then.
I know, right? I was like, well, I really did have an idea for one more. He's like, nope, I'm out. Like, okay. I never had time to draw it anyway, so it was fun.
That's mad funny.
But it was like a showgirl style fan with like
Yeah.
flat feathers. It was gorgeous, but there was like 4 or 5 different colors to every single feather.
Man, when I about fell out when we got Linda Eye's cover for the last issue of BGD with I think it was the cover before last where it was the stockings on Eve.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit, man.
Well, I like the shiny. That was really cool.
Yeah, I can't. There was one of them that April did too that I just can't. Oh, the filigree that she did on the Fallen Leaves cover. I was like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
You can have all that. That shit's gonna take hours upon hours to do.
Yeah, that was something.
And then she went back and did it by hand after again.
Mm-hmm.
Like she recreated her own cover. I was just like, that's batshit crazy.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Didn't you redo the Fallen Leaves
no,
cover?
I just colored it.
Oh, I was like, fuck, man.
Yeah, no, fuck that. No.
Like, holy cow. But that was absolutely crazy. I was not prepared for all that wildness that was going on right there. But it's really, really cool to see when as well as we go into things with team members and stuff as we watch each other build. You know what I mean? Like we constantly go in and see what each other are doing and approve of one another almost. You know what I mean? Like we go in and something that's very important about Ethereal is we lift each other up, and like I've watched all the team members like promoting one another, talking about how pretty this is or how pretty that is, or, what's going on, or even promoting other works that they've done. And that's cool as fuck to me. Like, I can't even begin to describe how cool that is. But anyway, we are hitting on that.
Quit getting on tangents.
Yeah, we're about to hit that 2-hour mark. So again, we really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for your pledges. Thanks for being our friends, man.
Family.
The friends are where it's at, and we're always open to more friends. And I'm going to leave you guys with something very important tonight. It's the holidays, and it's not easy for everybody. So if you need an ear, we're here. If you're a fan of ours, reach out, man. Talk to us. Tell us what's up. I mean, I'm always around, and Ethereal's always listening, guys. We really are.
First book's called The Listener. Come on, guys.
There you go.
We're ready.
We are ready to hear it. If you need to talk, get something off your chest. This is the hardest time for some folks. So, we're here. Oh, Shawnee, you're absolutely welcome, my dude. You're so welcome. And I just don't want you guys to forget. You know what I mean? I've seen the darker side of the holidays, and you're not alone. So feel free to holler at us. If you can't get a hold of me, I'm sure you can get a hold of somebody. Again, there's 40-something members of this team. Somebody will get you through to me. I'm always available. Thanks so much again. We appreciate you. We can't wait to get Underland to you. If you've ordered Greed, look for more of Greed in the mail. And then Theater 7 will be popping off shortly. That'll be going to the printer real quick. Lots going on, guys. And then BGD 3 right after. So make sure you're watching those mailboxes. Make sure you're keeping up with things during the holidays. And give us a holler if you feel like it. Anyway, thanks so much. Be good. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.